hiatus मैं बीच में नहीं आ सका ड्यू टू माय इल हेल्थ एंड ड्यूटी वेरी दिस हेक्टिक शेड्यूल. तो उस वजह से मैं नहीं आ सका, लेकिन नाउ फ्रॉम नाउ ऑनवर्ड आई विल बी रेगुलर because exam is approaching and we will do our best as much as we can, and we'll study very hard, and I'll also provide you previous year questions and mock tests, and we will have good preparation. So let's talk about today's topic is heat waves. So as winter as sorry as summer is approaching very fast, so heat waves, the government, what government does during this time, March के बाद what government does, it issues advisories, and it issues guidelines to various departments which are involved, like heat waves. The health department will have to this issue guidelines to the various districts to how to prevent deaths and how to this what should be done to prevent deaths due to heat waves, and how to protect people from heat. So now what is why this is in news? This is in news because Indian Meteorological Department. Hi Soham, welcome. So Indian Meteorological Department has issued red and orange warning for heat waves. So I'm fine. So it's live session. So uh, let's study and let's not talk about something else. I'm fine, and I hope you are fine too. So IMD has issued orange and red warning. So what IMD does in this case, IMD always issues warnings on the basis of color coding. Like they have issue warning on basis of four colors: green, orange, red, and yellow. So red is very dangerous. Red means that it is very alarming state, and there's prediction that there is going in this summer, after March, from March to June, there will be temperature will be very high, and it will impact the lives of the people. So government in this month or next month will this come up with advisories for to health department for how to protect the people from heat waves, and how to how to decrease the impact of heat waves on people, so that no life or no danger of life is caused. So this is news because of this. So now let's study what is heat wave. What is the difference between heat wave and normal this temperature which is during present during this month in March. So heat waves are occur when the normal temperature is 5 degrees Celsius more than the temperature which is present in that very month. Like for example, in March, if the temperature is 30 or 20, 28 or 30, so if heat waves occur, the temperature will become more than 35 degrees Celsius. So 5 degrees Celsius temperature is enough to cause death of death or morbidity, or death morbidity, or they can impact the life of the people who basically are poor people, because they don't have luxuries, they don't have ACs, they work in open environment. The people who are from unorganized sector, so they are much more vulnerable to these conditions. So heat waves are caused when the maximum temperature is increased by 5 degrees Celsius for for more than 5 consecutive days. So अगर मान लो कि आज टुडे इज़ 19th March, so मान लो next week normal temperature should be 30 degree, and if it touches more than 35, so then it means heat waves are going to occur, and we should take precautions earlier. So the main difference is that the 5 degrees Celsius temperature should not increase by 5 degrees Celsius if one wants to protect oneself from heat waves. So its whole onus lies on government and on people too. People have to protect themselves, and they have to obey the guidelines which are issued by the government. So W World Meteorological Organization. I was talking about first IMD because the news was given by IMD. Now we will talk about World Meteorological Organization. Basically, it identifies heat wave. So heat wave is, as I already said, that when daily maximum temperature of more than 5 consecutive days that exceeds maximum temperature by 5 degrees Celsius. So today is Sunday. So Sunday, if this 5 days after Sunday, continuously Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, from Monday to Friday, if temperature increases continuously by 5 degrees Celsius, then heat waves are bound to occur. So that is heat wave. Now, what is the cause of the heat wave? The why heat waves are caused? Heat waves mainly are caused in this pre-monsoon period, and it is caused due to El Nino southern oscillations. So what is El Nino effect? So you might be some might be many people might be knowing El Nino effect, but still when question comes, the UPSC always confuses with the options. So the what is El Nino? El Nino is basically, it is abnormal reversal of winds in this eastern and central Pacific Ocean on the side of Peru, western side of South America, on the side of Peru. So normally it should on the side of on the west side of the South America, the weather should be the temperature of the sea should be cold, but it as I said, due to reversal of winds, the temperature of the sea becomes warm and no upwelling takes place. Now what is upwelling? डर लगने लग गया है. So what is upwelling? Upwelling is basically, upwelling is good for the people who live there. Upwelling is that when cold water rises and it reaches the sea surface. So upwelling is very important if one wants to live in that area, because upwelling causes this organisms, planktons, fishes, they all rise on the surface. So upwelling is very important, but due to El Nino, upwelling doesn't takes place because the temperature of that side, eastern Pacific Ocean, becomes very warm. Eastern and central Pacific Ocean becomes very warm. So what happens then? The now due to this warming of water, this rainfall takes place on the western side of this Peru, that is on eastern Pacific Ocean. And what impact it has on India? When there is warm water in eastern Pacific Ocean, then due to reversal of winds, seasonal reversal of winds, there is coldness in there is cold water which moves towards Indonesia and India, and which causes this more drought like conditions there, and it also affects Indian monsoons. Sometimes we see very much below than normal monsoons on Indian side. So if a question comes ki El Nino, what is the impact of El Nino on Indian monsoon? So we will say that due to El Nino, the Indian monsoons are become very weak. So El Nino is also called boy, or it is also called I think child Christ. So it is this is a term given by some geographical scholars, which is not very important, but we need to know this is what is the impact of this El Nino on this India and Indonesia and this Australian side. So basically, the if there is no El Nino and the conditions are normal, so there will be cold currents on the side of Peru, which is very good for this fishermen on the places, the fishermen who live there, because they have favorable conditions to this catch fishes, and then they cannot face any problem regarding food and shelter. So it rains very heavily in Peru, and on Indian side there is drought like conditions. So El Nino is basically it is a disaster for India. If El Nino doesn't, if El Nino occurs, so India will never have normal monsoons. So that is the main effect of El Nino. So El Nino is also called this ENSO. It is basically ENSO, El Nino Southern Oscillation, as it is caused in southern hemisphere. So it is called El Nino Southern Oscillation. So there is another thing called La Nina. Now, what is La Nina? La Nina is completely a reversal of this El Nino, and La Nina is good for Indian monsoons, because La Nina is the normal phenomenon, and it causes this upwelling and cold currents in on the side of Eastern Pacific Ocean, which are good for Indian monsoons. And whenever La Nina occurs, monsoons are more than the prediction of monsoons in India. They are more than the rainfall is more than normal. So El Nino is not good for Indian monsoons, whereas La Nina is good for Indian monsoons. So I think this is El Nino, and this is all about El Nino. Do you want to ask something about this El Nino or this La Nina, or anything about this geography behind it, or I shall continue with the heat waves? Okay, so El Nino, already explained. If option comes, if a line comes, if a statement comes that El Nino has positive effect on Indian monsoon, no, it doesn't has positive effect of Indian monsoon. I'll provide it on my new channel. I have created my new channel on this Telegram. I'll share the link with you. Okay. So, the what are the health impacts when heat waves occur? When El Nino is in full effect, the body will face dehydration. Then it can also face heat cramps, exhaustion, heat stroke can also occur. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So basically, the why warnings by IMD are issued. The warnings are issued mainly for administrators, so that they can be ready, and they can position their resources which are there on their disposal. So they can use their resources. They can prepare their resources before the event take place, so that disaster can be avoided, or they can be mitigated if effect occurs. So what is the criteria for heat waves? So IMD, Indian Meteorological Department, has made criteria for heat waves. For plain areas it is different, for coastal sections it is different, and for hilly areas it is different. For plains, what is heat wave? If we talk about heat waves in plains, so we talk about when we will talk about heat waves in plain, we will talk about temperature. So if temperature reaches at least 40 degrees Celsius or more in plains, then it means heat waves are about to occur, or they are occurring. Okay. In hilly areas, if temperature is at least 30 degrees Celsius or more, then heat waves will occur. That is for plains and hilly areas. Okay. So these two criteria, if they are met in this plain areas and hilly areas, then it means ki heat waves are about to occur, and administrators should be ready for this preparedness regarding heat wave, to protect people, to protect the livestock, and to protect their livelihood also. So now, what about coastal stations? When we talk about coasts, so how will we link heat waves with the coast? So when maximum temperature departure is 4.5 degrees Celsius or more from normal, maximum temperature departure. If temperature is 25 degrees Celsius in coastal area, and if departure is 4.5 degrees Celsius or more, it means 29.5 degrees Celsius or 30 degrees Celsius. So that 4.5 degree difference is what causes heat waves. So 4.5 degree or more is if departure take place in coastal areas, then heat waves are about to occur. Then heat waves are about to occur, or you can say that heat waves are occurring. Okay. So that is criteria which is designed by this IMD for heat waves. So it this can be this is covered in paper 1 also, geography and disaster management also, because it is a kind of disaster. Heat waves are kind of disaster. So this is regarding heat waves. And I also explained El Nino. I explained a little bit about La Nina, and when I'll explain it differently too. La Nina, El Nino को मैं अलग से भी समझाऊंगा. अभी सिर्फ हीट वेव्स पे के बारे में मैंने समझाया कि इसमें क्या क्या होता है. इसको रिवाइज कर लेते हैं कि इसमें कलर कोडिंग सिस्टम यूज़ करती है IMD. दैट इज़ रेड. रेड इज़ व्हेन it is very alarming that heat waves are occurring, that there is very sure shot this thing that heat waves will occur. Then there is orange. Orange is little less alarming than red. Then yellow. Yellow means least alarming, less alarming than orange. And green. Green means least alarming. There is no chance that heat waves will occur. So IMD decides this criteria on this basis, and WMD just defines the heat waves. So this is heat waves is coupled with El Nino effect. I already explained it. So that's all about heat waves. So next topic about other than heat waves is, let me see. Oh my god. Actually, I'm doing this from this, PT365. So if do you think forest fires, this is a topic, favorite topic for this UPSC? Can it come, heat wave, this forest fires? Okay, we'll study later that forest fire, because I have to study in detail. I just studied about this disaster management and heat waves, which is related to geography and which can be written in disaster management too. And I also explained El Nino and La Nina. Yes, forest fires are highly important. Yes, they are very important, and no country is now कोई ऐसी कंट्री नहीं है कि जो फॉरेस्ट फायर से अब बची हो. फॉरेस्ट फायर कैन अक्कर एनीवेयर, इन इंडिया टू, in USA it's in California it's very common, in Australia it's common. So this forest fire is also very important, but no, I think not from prelims perspective. It's important for means perspective. Yeah, right. So एक और टॉपिक कर लें, एक और टॉपिक कर लेते हैं. there is something called CDRI. CDRI is Coalition for Disaster Resilient Infrastructure. Have you heard about it? Coalition for Disaster Resilient Infrastructure, CDRI. Yeah. So CDRI basically it is initiative by India. Yes, and on CDRI was this launched during climate change conference, and they have multi this stakeholder and they multi stakeholder golden. No, what no? It was announced by India's PM at UN Climate Change Summit, my man, in 2019. In 2019, it was launched by PM Modi at UN Climate Change Summit. Okay, okay. So there are three priorities, strategic priorities of CRDI. Number one is technical support and capacity building. Number two is research and knowledge management. Number three is advocacy and partnerships. So basically, there are three strategic priorities. First one is technical support and capacity building. We need to build the capacity of the local communities who are more vulnerable and who get affected by these disasters, and we need to provide technical support to the agencies which are dealing with disaster management. Secondly, research and knowledge management is very important. Research should be collaborative. The multi stakeholders should join together, and that should be collaborative research. And then this global database of infrastructure and this disaster resilience should be maintained. It should be maintained. Global database is very important. And third point was advocacy and partnerships. The partnerships of global events and initiatives, that South-South cooperation. Have you heard about word South-South cooperation? Like IPSA. IPSA is a South-South cooperation organization. India, Brazil, South Africa. So basically, they are talking about that advocacy and partnerships. So if India can also talk about disaster resilient in Quad, it can also talk about disaster resilient in G20, as it is G20. India is president of G20 for 1 year. You know that, but you know that better than me. And the last one is that this dissemination of knowledge products is very important when we talk about advocacy and partnerships. So dissemination of knowledge products is very important. So dissemination of knowledge is very important for the people, so that people can know what are the effects of this and disasters, and what is the collision, what is the function of the collision, and what the governments are, what the multi-stakeholder are going to do after creating this coalition for the disaster resilient infrastructure. Resilience is very important, and India is very resilient country. But the main problem is that India is not still able to design the buildings according to National Building Code. I think earthquake of 5 magnitude can also destroy the buildings in India. So India is yet to acquire technology like Japan, which can withstand the earthquake of 7 or 7 plus magnitude. So that needs to be done. India should properly implement national building codes, and everything what will be constructed in future, the buildings where more people work, and the zones in India which are prone to disasters, especially there should be greenfield investments, and that should be in lines with this national building codes. So I think that's two topics. We have covered two topics, and one is heat waves. Second one is Coalition for Disaster Resilient Infrastructure, which was launched by PM Modi at UN Climate Change Summit in 2019. So it was not launched in India or anywhere else. ठीक है, तो ये नॉट येट 3 मिनट चुप रह के सब कुछ भूल गया भूल जाते हैं यार, भूल जाते हैं। अब मैं कितनी देर के बाद आई एम दिस गिविंग दिस लेक्चर एंड अभी मैंने प्रिपरेशन भी इतनी अच्छी तरह नहीं की थी, लेकिन स्टिल आई थिंक जितना मैंने बोला है उससे ज़्यादा बाहर से आएगा भी नहीं। अगर क्वेश्चन आया कॉल्यूशन फॉर डिजास्टर रिसिलेंट इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर, तो कम से कम अगर इफ़ वी हैव 3 स्टेटमेंट्स तो कम से कम वी कैन जज 2 स्टेटमेंट्स। 2 स्टेटमेंट्स तो हमारी ठीक हो जाएगी। ठीक है, सो कि इट वाज लॉन्च्ड बाय इंडिया, वन स्टेटमेंट विल बी दिस, सेकंड विल बी दैट इट वाज announced by this PM at UN Climate Change Summit. Yes, we can wind up now and डिनर भाई टाइम पे कर लिया करो, ठीक है। इट्स ऑलरेडी आई थिंक व्हाट्स द टाइम, 11 o'clock। हाँ 11 o'clock। सो हैव अ डिनर, हैव अ गुड रेस्ट, take care, and all the best for your new venture. And can I put this on this lecture on my this Telegram page, or should I put PDF? Just tell me. And do share यार, whenever you come here ना share कर दिया करो यार प्लीज़, so that rest of the people can also come. अभी एक बंदे देखने से क्या होता है यार, only you are watching. Yeah, I want you to share. Yeah, PDF I'll provide. PDF I'll provide on lecture 2. This I think FB पे share हो गया। FB पे we don't have many people ना, Telegram पे we have people who prepare for IAS और PCS। यहाँ पे फेसबुक पे कौन करता है यार प्रिपरेशन। चल ठीक है, पर्सनल भेज देना, ठीक है। और थैंक यू सो मच फॉर कमिंग। और 2 टॉपिक डिस्कस हो गए हैं, और कल करेंगे हम एल नीनो हो गया, लानीना हो गया, CDRI हो गया, एंड हीट वेव्स हो गया अपना, ठीक है ना। कल करेंगे हम पॉलिटी का, ठीक है। पॉलिटी में हम टुमारो वी विल डू एंटी डिफेक्शन लॉ, ओके। एंड आई विल मेक माइंड मैप्स कल बना के लाऊंगा। आज मेरे पास कोई वो नहीं था बनाने को, आई हैड नथिंग टू मेक इवन, मेरे पास टाइम नहीं था कि PPTs बना सकूं। कल से माइंड मैप बना के आऊँगा। और ये लेक्चर को जितना शेयर करो शेयर कर देना, ठीक है। ज़ीरो दिस इज़ बेटर कि पीपल हैव सम नॉलेज देन हैविंग नो नॉलेज। सो प्लीज़ डू शेयर इट एंड डू लाइक इट, डू सब्सक्राइब इट, and thank you so much. Good night.